Hi, this is Lefty Dad, and I'm going to be doing a game from PC Replay Baseball, the 1948 season that I'm replaying every single game, every single at-bat, every single thing that happens. And today, it's July 31st. We're just about ready to enter the last part of the season, the dog days of August. And this is a game. It's the St. Louis Cardinals against the Boston Braves. The Braves are currently in fourth place. They won the pennant that year, so they're underperforming. And in first place in my replay are the Chicago Cubs, who have had everything possible go right for them. And they came in last place in 1948, so it's definitely a bizarro world. I can take a look here and see some information about the teams going into this game. The Braves lost the first game of this three-game series in, I guess it's in Boston, and they're currently 6-4 in their last 10 games. On the mound today will be Warren Spahn, who has just had so many things go wrong for him. His record is currently 7-6, and I believe he was a 20-game winner. I'll find out when the game starts. And then he'll be facing Al Brasley. And I have looked up Brasley's last name in the Terry Cannon Baseball Pronunciation Project website, and it's like Braz, like jazz, and then Lee, L-E-E. And the accent is on the first syllable, so I'm going with Brasley, Al Brasley. And we can see here how the Cardinals have been really hot. They're 6-4 in their last. They were in a slump, but so they're 6-4 in their last 10 games, but they've won 5 in a row, and they are currently at the top of the second division, as they used to call the standings back in 1948. They're one game under 500, but they've got Stan Musial hitting .368. They've got Enos Slaughter hitting really great. They've got great pitching from Harry. I'm not going to say his last name unless I check the Terry Cannon baseball names collection. But I am confident about Brasley. I have to be careful not to say Brosley, but according to the pronunciation guide, it is Braz, like jazz, Lee. So let's get to the game. And we've got... Uh-oh. I've got to turn the sound off. I nearly forgot to do that. So let me turn the sound off really quick. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear anything that I say. So I'm glad I caught that before this whole broadcast was ruined. And I also want to change this thing here so that I have to click to go on to the next batter. Otherwise, things go kind of a little too fast. I normally play with that so that it goes right to the next batter, but not when I'm doing something like this. Okay, so I'm going to coach or manage the Braves, and maybe that's why they're not in first place, because I've been managing them thinking that I could help. But obviously, if it's the managing that's the problem, then I'm the problem. Okay, see, Warren Spahn, he's 27 years old, and he's kind of leveling out. I guess I was imagining that he should be a 20-game winner and an ERA of under 3, but as you can see, he's had 21 starts, so he's about 2/3 of the way through the season, and he's a little over 500 in his pitching, and he was a little over 500 in real life. He is just doing a little worse in terms of ERA and WHIP, but he could level that out in the final third of the season. But anyway, let's get the game going. We've got Warren Spahn against Irv Dusak, and I hope I'm pronouncing Dusak correctly. So there's a ball hit. Connie Ryan weak offensively, but good defensively, and he gets Dusak out. Dusak is on that Mendoza line. I think he's right on the Mendoza line, hitting 202. Here's, I'm always tempted to call him Maid Marion, but it's Marty Marion. He's a great fielding shortstop who usually hits around 250. But Warren Spahn strikes him out. Let's see how Warren is doing. I guess it's going to maybe go to the next thing here. But he is striking out a lot more than he's walking, which is exceptional in 1948. So this brings up Stan the Man. Once Stan Musial, maybe about 20 years ago, was attending a baseball game as Warren Buffett's guest, the Omaha Royals, the AAA club for the Kansas City Royals. So he was a guest of Warren Buffett, and he was kind of he was a very friendly, happy-go-lucky guy. And I had my son with me. He was, I don't know, maybe 5 years old at the game, and Stan Musial took a dollar bill and quickly folded it like an origami and made like a little star out of the $1 bill and handed it to my son. And my son was greatly amazed and appreciative, and took the dollar bill home and saved it in his room as a memorabilia for having met Stan Musial. And then, I don't know, about a year or so later, his older sister, who was 2 years older, found that origami-shaped dollar bill in my son's room and thought, hey, I could use $1. And she unfolded it and put it in with the rest of her stash of cash. And so that memorabilia from Stan Musial suddenly disappeared. So Stan is leading the National League in hitting at 368, and I think he even hit better than that. Yeah, he hit 376, so he's way up there where he needs to be. And there's going to be, no, just barely. If Warren Spahn would have rolled anything other than that blue one down here, it would have been a triple. But Warren, the lefty facing a lefty, just barely got Musial to foul out or pop out. So now we go to the bottom of the first, and how's Al Brasley doing? Al, he is kind of a spot starter, 34 years old, from Loyal, Oklahoma, and 6'2", so he was tall for those days. I think my wife said, like in 1940, the average height of men in America was 5'8", and a lot of that had to do with, just poor health conditions, nutrition conditions from the Great Depression. But anyway, Brasley he's doing as well as he ought to, as to be expected in terms of wins and losses, even with his whip, but he's just a little bit over in earned run average. So here's Terry Holmes. He's just been totally consistent, approaching 400 at-bats for the season, and he's currently hitting 318, and he hit 325. So all of these Boston players are most of them are underperforming, and that's why they're in fourth place instead of first place. But I believe the Cubs have a doubleheader today against the Giants, so if Boston can win and the Cubs can win 2 games, the Cubs are in second place. And they lost the first game. This is Saturday, July 31st, 1948. They lost the Friday game. Anyway, on with the game. Holmes is going to line out. Now, if Brasley would have rolled the next number higher, he would have... I don't know, this is a little weird here, because this is set up for somebody that had a wide discrepancy between how they did against right-handed batters and left-handed batters. Anyway, if he would have done one step worse, it would have been a double, but it was not one step worse. Okay, Al Dark, who had been really underperforming and now he's approaching 300, but he hit 325. So everybody's underperforming on this Braves team. He pops out to the third baseman, Mike McCormick. I don't know if Mike and Frank are brothers. I'll have to look that up. I guess I've been assuming they were, but let's see. I'll see if they're from the same place. Okay, he's from Angels Camp, and Frank McCormick is from New York City, so no, I don't think they're brothers. Mike McCormick is going to ground out to the first baseman for the third out. So we go to the top of the second, and Whitey Kurowski, I'm going to have to look him up on Terry Cannon's baseball names. If you had the Miller Associates Baseball for Windows game from the 1990s, Ernie Harwell was a great source to find out how to pronounce a lot of these names, but he never could get Andy Pettit's name correct. He always called him Andy Petite, so even Ernie was not infallible. But Kurowski, I thought that he should be hitting better than 211, but I see here he only hit 214, so he's kind of right on where he needs to be, and he's going to pop out to the third baseman. Enos Slaughter is hitting 324. He hit 321, so he's right on target, practically. Enos Slaughter gets a single to center field, the first hit of the ball game. Now here's Nippy Jones. I was going to call him Nappy. Nippy Jones, who has really been underperforming for the Cardinals all season, but he's been coming up a little bit. He's still 20 points below where he ought to be in terms of his batting average, and he's going to fly out to left field for the second out. Terry Moore is underperforming. He should be hitting 332, but he's hitting 204, and that's going to be a short fly, just barely, to left field. So we go to the bottom of the second. Here's Bob Elliott. Bob Elliott, he's 20 points under what his batting average should be, but he's not nearly as bad as, I guess there's another guy on the, let's see if I can find him here. Russell is really underperforming. He's hitting 230, and he should be hitting 264. But anyway, Elliott is up. He's got some power. There it goes, deep into the seats. Home run off of Al Brasley. And Al really put a pitch right down the middle of the plate, fastball, and Elliott sent it out for his 10th home run. Here's Frank McCormick. Frank should be hitting 250, so he's another reason why Boston Braves are not in first place. And this could be an error on Marty Marion. We'll see how he can handle this error situation, and he doesn't make an error. So there's the first out. Here's Clint Conetster, currently hitting 300 in the replay, and this is going to be a line drive hit out to left to Slaughter. He's got a chance for extra bases if I can roll a 6, and I roll a 5. So he only gets a single, stays at first. Phil Massey, who's kind of a double play machine. All of these 35s in the first column, all the 1s, those are all double plays, and they're playing halfway, as you can see, to try to get the double play. But he's a really good bunter. He's bunter rated 1 through 5. 1 is the best, so we're going to let him try to move Conester. I'm messing him up, so I have to look at the Terry. I was going to say Terry Gilliam, but it's the Terry, I can't remember what his last, Terry Morrison? I'll have to look that up too. I don't even know what his last name is anymore. But Massey, we'll see how he does. Nippy was not playing in. He could get a hit out of this if he can roll, I think, a 1, maybe a 2. He rolls a 1, he gets a hit. They are not able to even get the out at first on the sacrifice attempt. So now we have Connie Ryan, who is hitting 230. He hit 213, so he's a good defensive player, and they bat him 8th. So I think we'll let him hit, because he doesn't hit into double plays. He walks. They walked him. So that's going to bring up Warren Spahn. He does have power. He hit 1 home run. out of 90 at bats, but he's hitting in the replay kind of where he should be hitting, but he doesn't really hit into a drastic amount of double plays compared to some pitchers, so we pretty much have to let him swing away. He hits a fly ball out to center, and I think that'll be caught, yeah, by Terry Moore. So now we have 2 outs. Tommy Holmes is up. He lined out to right last at bat. And a lefty-lefty matchup. This could be it's a dribbler to the mound. Holmes is trying to leg it out, but he doesn't. So no, it's still 1-0, top of the third. Spahn is going to face Del Rice. Del is hitting 148. He hit 197, so he's kind of a dismal offensive player this particular year, but he's a good catcher. He fouls out. Al Brasley is up. Al is hitting 212, and he grounds out to Connie Ryan. And now we've got Irv Dusak, who grounded out to Connie Ryan also in his first at bat. That's going to be a short fly to center field. So Warren is mowing him down here, and we are in the bottom of the third with Alvin Dark, and that is going to be a pop out to the third baseman. Mike McCormick is up. He hit a ground ball to the first baseman, who flipped it to the pitcher covering. First time at bat, but this is going to be a double to right field. He goes the other way and smacks it down to right field. So there's the 4th hit for Boston. Bob Elliott is up. He's going to maybe strike out. Yeah. And now Frank McCormick. They need to get some runs with these runners that they've had on base. There is a single to left field, and McCormick, who is above average speed, scores against a great left fielder, Enos Slaughter. It's 2-0, and here is Clint Konatster, who strikes out. Ooh, Brasley does have a good strikeout pitch. Top of the 4th, Spahn is facing Marion, who struck out last time, and this could be a tough play. Nope. Al Dark is up to the job. Ground out to the shortstop. Here's Stan Musial. Always dangerous. Always extremely dangerous. I think he's leading the National League right now in RBIs, but I don't think he's quite leading in home runs. I think the leader currently has 27. He's at 26. But the lefty-lefty matchup came back to bite Stan. And there was a leaping catch by the second baseman as Stan tried to pull it. And Connie Ryan, extremely good second baseman. Not maybe the very best, but a really good one. Now here's Whitey Karowski. Ball hit to the shortstop, and he's out. So we are at the bottom of the 4th in Boston at Braves Field. And there's going to be a ground out to Marion. Mossy grounds out. Connie Ryan walked the last time, and he's going to walk this time. Okay, now I think with 1 out, we're going to let Warren Spahn try to advance him with a bunt, sacrifice bunt. And he is successful. And you know, this particular year in baseball, 1948, there was no such thing as a sacrifice fly. That would just be a regular out. So they did have sacrifice hits, though, that did not count as an at-bat. Now Tommy Holmes is up with a runner in scoring position. He has lined out to right and grounded out to the pitcher. This is going to be a double. Yeah. Brasley left the curveball hanging, and Holmes deposited it to right field, pulled it right down the line, scored the 3rd run. So St. Louis is not letting them have any of those crooked numbers on the board, but they're getting a lot of straight numbers. Alvin Dark. That was always kind of surreal or bizarre. Every time I hear, got to stop the crooked numbers, then I'm like thinking, well, what qualifies for a crooked number? But there's the 3rd out. So now Spahn is working the top of the 5th. He is currently throwing a 1-hitter 1 strikeout so far, but no walks. And Enos Slaughter is up. Enos, I think he's hitting a little better than he ought to hit, but he's right on target. So this is going to be a ground out to the shortstop. Al Dark guns him down. Nippy Jones. Nippy, currently 22 years old. He's been in the league. Basically, this is his second full season. He had a grand slam against these Braves back in May 21st. So that's the way it's gone for the Braves. They have these guys. Nippy did hit 10 home runs that year, but he's underperforming. He needs to get up to the 250s to really be on track, and that's going to just barely be a line out to the third baseman. So there are 2 out now. Terry Moore is up, and he hits a short fly to center field. Bottom of the 5th, Mike McCormick, 1 for 2, hitting .298, and he's only been up 141 times. I thought he'd been up more than that. Marion guns him down from short. 1 out. Here's the guy who hit the big home run earlier, so they're careful with him now. They walk him, and he's had 4 stolen bases so far this year. Brasley, you can see he's kind of a spot starter, so he's wearing out. He's not going to be able to go much longer. This has turned into like an orange circle instead of a green circle. Maybe it looks yellow to you, but it's orange to me. You say tomato, I say tomato. And McCormick has got a base hit. So I think, though, with 1 out, and he's not a good hitter, really, we're going to have him sacrifice. And maybe this is bad managing on my part, but he is successful. And now we have a chance for a 300 hitter, Clint Conatster, who hit .277, so he's a good hitter. 2 out, runner in scoring position, and he hits a line drive to right field. And a chance for extra bases, but he does not. But Musial comes up really roaring with that ball. They're going to bring in a lefty to replace a lefty, Ken Johnson, who's done well. He does walk a lot of hitters. Although this season he's nearly struck out twice as many as he's walked, although in real life, in the 45 innings he pitched, he walked, I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong numbers. He struck out 1 more than he's walked, but in real life he struck out 10 less than. He's from Topeka, Kansas. And this is going to be a action play here. We'll see if he throws a lot of wild pitches, so this could score a run. It does. Ken Johnson, the 25-year-old from Topeka, Kansas. How long has he been in the league? This is really his first season. He came in, he was a September call-up last year, so this is really his first season. The tall left-hander from Topeka. Here is Massey. He's going to hit it out of here, maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. No, but he could hit the runner on second in, and he does. So now we've got a 5-0 lead for the Boston Braves, and Connie Ryan is up. He's going to hit a hard ground ball past Whitey there. Oh no, Whitey is able to get it and throw him right before his foot touched first base. So it's a 5-0 lead for Boston going into the top of the 6th. Here's Dale Rice. Dale Rice flies out to right field. Here's, I think they'll pinch hit for Ken. No, they're going to let him hit. And there's a ground out to the second baseman. Dusak is 0 for 2, and he fouls out to the second baseman. Warren Spahn leads off. Warren flew out to center and moved the runner over with the sacrifice bunt. This could possibly be a base hit. No! Dusak is able to get him right before his foot touches the bag. Too bad they don't have the replay in 1948. He may have been called safe. Here's Tommy Holmes. This Ken Johnson can face 11 more hitters, so I think that's why they left him in. AI in this game is brilliant. I learned from the AI. Richard Hanna programmed this, and he programmed the greatest AI in sports simulations, I think. So Tommy Holmes strikes out. Ken Johnson doing a good job. Fly out to left field. So we go to the top of the seventh. Normally, Warren has these bad innings that plague him. We'll see if this is going to be one of them. No. Strikes out Marty Marion. Still throwing that one hitter. Stan is up. Stan is probably going to do some damage. Nope. Ground ball to the third baseman. Tried to go the other way. But Bob Elliott would have none of it. Whitey is up. Going to be a deep fly out to left. Nearly put it out of here. And we go to the bottom of the seventh. Still throwing a one-hitter. Nobody's made an error in this game. Mike McCormick in the number 3 spot leads off. And he grounds out to the second baseman. Now Elliott is up. And this is going to be a walk. So this is the first person Ken Johnson has walked. Ken, oh, he's the guy from Topeka. Okay, maybe I thought that the previous pitcher was from Topeka, but maybe I have short-term memory loss. So Frank McCormick hits a ground out. They try for a double play, but they just get the runner at second. So we have 2 out now. Conatser. It's T-S-E-R. Conatser. So we're at the top of the 8th now, getting to the end. Spahn just has to get 6 more outs. I think it was the pitcher from early 20th century, Chief Bender, who would, starting in the 7th inning, he would start to shout out how many more outs he had left after every out he made while pitching the game, counting down to the last out. So here's Enos Slaughter, who it's the lefty-lefty matchup that favors Spahn. This is, double down the right field line. See, now this is kind of where Spahn sputters. Nippy is up. Nippy, that's going to be a ground out to Connie Ryan. So Spahn throwing a 2-hitter. He needs 5 more outs. Terry Moore will probably give him an out right here. Oh, it's the right-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher. He could hit it out of here if he gets a number roll in the 60s, but he doesn't, so it's just a base hit. But there goes the shutout. And maybe they'll pinch hit for Del Rice. No, this could be a double play. And it is a double play. So, got 1 more inning to go. Massey is up. He short fly to center field. He was 2 for 3. Here's Ryan, who has walked twice. Ooh, he's going to get a base hit. Oh no, a walk. He drew a walk. That Ken Johnson does walk a lot. So that's coming home to roost. Now we got 1 out. Spahn up. Spahn is going to try to bunt him over. He's done it once in this game, and he does it again. So now we're at the top of the order with good hitting, Tommy Holmes, but it's going to be a fly out to left field. So we are ready to go to the top of the 9th. And do we need to make any defensive replacements? I don't think so. Do we have a better left? Yeah, well, Heath is better. We'll put him in left. But otherwise, everything's looking pretty good. So they're going to pinch hit, I'm sure. Yeah. Don Lang. No, he short fly to center field. I thought that Conatser was not going to get to it, but he did. Okay, 1 down, 2 more outs to go. Dusak is up. His average dropped below 200 in this game because he is 0 for 3. And this could be a walk. Yeah, there's going to be an action play here. Maybe he'll... No, he's not going to do anything. Normally he would probably try to steal here, but the computer programming, they don't want to have him thrown out when they're down behind They're down by 4 runs. So here's Marty Marion, 0 for 3. Look at how Spahn has done in this game. The 1, 2, 3, 4 top 4 hitters in the lineup have got hitless, and you can change this. You can see how they do against left-handed pitchers. Marion is hitting 218. How many home runs they have? Slaughter has 10. RBIs, Musial has 91. On base percentage, Marion does not walk. OPS, not so great. And Marion against right-handed pitchers, he hits 218. He's hitting 218, but he's hitting 256 against lefties. So there goes Marion. I think that looping drive, I think Clint is up to the task. He's got to roll something 53 or smaller. Oh, it's a 54. One above what it needed to be. Excitement, excitement. Now, we don't have the tying run up, but it's Stan the man. And look, Warren now, his endurance has shifted to orange, which means the next runner that gets on will have reduced him to being exhausted. And I would be exhausted too with Musial at bat with 2 runners on and having pitched 9 innings. But we'll see what Stan does. He's 0 for 3. Oh, it's going to be a double play. Stan has a bad game. A bad game. Going 0 for 4. That ends the game. Warren Spahn, he was a couple of wins higher than losses at the end of the season in real life, and he's kind of repeating that. Warren Spahn is the star of the game. So this is Lefty Dad. If you liked this YouTube video, please click the like button and please subscribe, because I'm desperately trying to get to 100 subscribers before I go in the retirement home. Okay? Thanks so much for listening and watching.